Right, well, first off, after last week's heat wave, walking around in shorts, we've now got snow. Freezing again. Anyway, now the missus has the L322 I bought. I have her old Freelander in. Obviously, as she's having that, this is now getting ready to be sold on. So I've had the bumper corners all painted because they had a scuff on every corner. I need to replace that light. I need to transfer the plate, obviously. Not because she scraped them all. They were already done before she had it, to be fair to her. So, yeah. So they've all been painted, and the fog lights were in primer. Or sorry, the fog light surrounds were in primer, so they've been painted and fixed back on. So it's looking quite nice now. Obviously it's HSE spec, so it's full leather, it's got harm cardon, sat nav, all the malarkey. There's a few bits wrong with it. There's a few bangs on the back, which I think I know what they are. And there is a nasty knock on this front corner. It didn't flag up on the MOT, so it's either going to be a top mount or it's the ARB link. So we'll get it up on the ramp. I'll show you what I know is wrong at the back, and then we'll try and investigate the front. But I need to, as I say, get it out today, order the bits I need, including that rear lamp lens. And I've taken a load of photos this morning after having it cleaned, so I'll probably list it now, like 10-day listing, and then that'll give me a chance to get the bits sorted. The only other thing is, I had to remove the side step from this side because it had rotted out. But this side is still on, so I might just leave it on and just tell the truth. One rotted out, one's good. They might be able to get a second one. We'll check this one when it's in the air, because obviously if this one's rotted out, then I'll take it off. But at the moment, my plan is to leave it there. Right, I will get it up in the air. Right, so the top mount lives down there under the fuse box. So you've got to undo these 3 10mm nuts holding it on to that bracket there and them threads, and that one there, and then you can get to the top mount. Oh, it had that cover on as well, which is there, which I've just lifted off. So I can see the situation of it now, so I'll lift it up in the air and see if this drops away and falls apart and whatever have you. So right, now to get it up in the air. Right, so it's in the air. Now, first issue, as you can see, that is supposed to be there. So it needs to come right up. So we need to sort that. That's one of the knock-ins on the subframe. Now, I'm guessing the other knockings is the diff mounts. I don't know if I can. Oh yes, I think you can see that. Yes, I think the diff mounts have all gone. Don't know about this one, but you get a set anyway. It's more the other side, but you get a set. So we've got to fix the exhaust. We've got to order some diff mounts. How are we down this end? That's solid, that's all right. All the exhaust mounts are okay here. Obviously they are under a bit of stress, so we've got to sort that out. But yes, side step. It's a bit squashed up on there now, but we might whip that off, I think, for a while it's up here. Get that off and be done with it. It's only a couple of bolts, so we might as well just take it off. It's done then. Right, other than that, we're golden, so I'll get some bits ordered. Right, so next job, I've got to get the bushes out as the new ones have arrived. So I will crack on with that and let you come along for the ride. So you've got to keep an eye, look, the shape of the bush, it sticks out further on the inside. So we'll keep them on the side that we've taken them off for when you're ready to put the new ones on, to make sure we don't get them wrong. Shot to bits. That's better. Much more solid. So hopefully we won't get any more knocks and bangs. Right, now it's running. So now it's time to get the radiator to fit. Sacrilege maybe, but trying to get a radiator to fit in that hole is a nightmare. So this is hollow. I'm going to chop this out. I'm just going to chop and leave the front on. I mean, it's been damaged anyway, so it needs pulling out. It's obviously had a little whack. But I'm going to cut the top out and see if the radiator will sit in there. And then if it does, tidy it all up and weld it, or get someone to weld it and box it all back in again. So I'll get cutting. Right, with the rubber feet on, the original mounts, all right, they're not done up, but they still fit. So that holds it. We're solid and we're clear of the turbo. Lovely old job. Result. So now it's got a trim here to get the intercooler on. Next job. Right, well, the radiator's fixed in and the intercooler's fixed on. And then I remembered the bonnet catch. So I'm hoping where this is mounted, as you can probably see, it is leaned right back. So I'm hoping if I pull the intercooler off, bolt that back on, and then put this back with standoffs, it might fit. So I'm going to try that now. Right, well that worked. Spacing the intercooler out. The bonnet catch fits down there lovely. So now to get round to chopping and fitting the bumper. That's next. Right, so the bumper bar is on and it clears, no problem. The only thing it doesn't quite clear is these corners. Now obviously I'm not going to cut them, so I'm going to have to modify the bumper down here in this corner on both sides. So I'm just going to take that grill off and the orange grill and offer it back up and see where I need to cut, because I'll cut the bumper first and then the orange grill after, because obviously the orange grill is perfectly visible. So I'll start stripping this down. Right, so you can unscrew the orange grill with these screws around here, which I did, and I offered the bumper up and trimmed the actual bumper. As you can see, it needs a bit of finishing. And then once that was trimmed and fitted, I refitted the orange grill, marked around where it needed to be trimmed, took it back off again and chopped it to match. So now it fits perfectly. Well, say perfectly, it fits. I'll show you, I'll put it on, I'll show you. There's maybe I cut about 5mm too much off, but it's better to have too much than too little. So I'll show you once it's back on. And there we go, it's in. So I just need to tidy up them little cuts there, but it fits pretty well. That one I went a little bit too far on, but you know, it is what it is. I could just chop that little corner out and then just tidy that edge up and it'll be all right. It was just a matter of getting it in and I can finish the edges. So yeah, pleased with that. All right, something I noticed on the BRM was there was a bit of a seep from the gearbox. I think you can see why. That seal has just about had it. So we've got a nice new Corteco one. So I'm going to put that in now and hopefully it won't leak anymore. Right, so BRM Exhaust. Now that's the shortfall I've got. Obviously from a previous video, if you've seen it, we made this little pipe here so I can swap in and out the original cap. Now this system, when it was on the NA engine, it had a pre-cat in it, that one there. So that fitted in that gap and then come up to about here somewhere. Oh, up to sort of here somewhere, the flange. Now, with the turbo downpipe, obviously the hole's too small. I've been trying to get a company to make me, or to shorten this sports cat and make me another section of pipe to replace all that for everyday use. And then I can change all this out for this concoction when it comes to MOT time. But no one wants me to bring the car to them and let me hang around and wait for it. They all want me to drop it off and they'll get to it as and when. Well, I'm not interested in that. Back in the day, you used to drive up there in the morning, they'd do it and you'd take it home again, but not anymore. Whether that's COVID or what, I don't know. So anyway, the 75 downpipe is a triangle. Turns out it's exactly the same as a TD4 Discovery downpipe. So this flexi is knackered on this sports cat. So my plan is chop this, put the flange at this end, chop this off, put it on there. So we've got a flexi with the new end, and then chop this flange off, bring it back here, weld it in to the right gap, and then that'll bolt in. So at least then we will have a complete exhaust. Then what I'll do, once this is on the road, I will take it to somewhere, once they maybe open up again, or someone who will allow me to, and get a replacement pipe made for there to go, you know, one piece to go from there to the end of the cap, and just get rid of those two bits. So yeah, the quotes I were getting were sort of 250, 300 quid just to make that. So hopefully my welder man can sort this out for me and it will cost me not a lot at all. So fingers crossed. Right, well, I didn't catch much of it because of everything that was going on at the time, but it's all piped up, it's running, the exhaust is done. Just means one thing, I suppose, test drive. So yeah, wish me luck. Right, so initial test drive was okay. We only went a couple of miles and then come back. I'm just draining the oil, changing the filter. I've only got water in it, so I'm going to drop that out and put coolant in, change the plugs. Oops, knocking stuff over. Yeah, change the plugs, change the oil, change the coolant, and then as it's for Friday, we'll take it home for the weekend. But as you can see, there's the exhaust we've done temporarily. We'll trim down the sport cap, move the flange closer to the end, put a TD5 flex unit and a TD5 flange, and it matches up nicely with the turbo downpipe. Obviously in my mile jaunt yesterday, I had to pull over and let a car pass. Look, I've got grass on the bottom of it. It is, well, it's not that much lower, I suppose, than the gear selectors. But yeah. So, I'm just waiting for the parts to turn up. They've already been here once, but I wasn't here. I did tell them to wait till I got there, but never mind. You can just about see the intercooler in there, look. Fills that hole nicely. So yeah, I'll get it serviced and then I'll take you out for a drive and we'll see whether it breaks down. Because it's gonna, innit? It's gonna at some point. So there she is. Fairly clean. It's got some rust issues, a couple of arches. Needs the rear of the seals doing, but I've been driving it for a week. I've had obviously no way of filming while I've been driving, so I've not taken you out yet, but I will as soon as I can. But yeah, it's going all right. It's, dare I say it, almost reliable. Yeah, but it does need a lot of bodywork. The paint's flat in areas, scratched. As I say, there's some rust on the seals. I have rubbed them down and painted them with black, but they will need doing very, very soon. And obviously the front arches are grotty. But other than that, she starts on the button. We have no problem, so I'm quite chuffed. So when I can, I'll take you for a drive. But as for now, I'm just going to put some mileage on it and get it up to Birmingham to Pride of Longbridge, hopefully. But yeah, so yeah, I'm chuffed. Happy with it. I'll probably use it daily for a while and see how it goes. Hopefully, dare I say, it's reliable.